Hello everyone, this is your host, Eldad Amara, back with another video. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe and share. And don't forget to hit the notification bell in the top right hand corner of your screen. That way every time I drop a new video, you will be notified of this. And please don't forget to put a like on the bottom. That way hopefully YouTube will show my video to a much wider audience. Today I want to talk to you about surveillance. I've done a video last week on this. This is part 2. I'm not going to go back and recap. I'll leave a link so you can go back and watch part 1. This is part 2 of this video. Right? Amazon created a ring door camera. This was meant to be for the public, to keep security around their homes. So the camera was installed to stop things like theft and burglary and to make citizens feel more safe around their own homes. But you know what? Not that long ago, you know what Amazon done? They handed over 12 footages of film. It was either 11 or 12 footages of film, right, from people's homes without their consent, and handed this over to law enforcement agencies. NBC News. Newly published research, tech inquiries revealed that the Department of Defense and the federal law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, have secured thousands of deals with Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Dell, IBM, Hewlett-Packard, and even Facebook that have not been previously reported. So you got all these companies, right? They're all kind of in cahoots together, working together, gathering intelligence information on the general public. I thought myself that you were innocent until proven guilty. What are they doing with all this information? Why do they need to surveil people, right? Why do they need to keep people under constant surveillance? Why? The citizens put a camera in their home to protect their home, and then you're taking footages of film and then sharing it with the law enforcement agencies. Now, I don't understand why they're doing this. I've got some really juicy information in here for you. To go on, Amazon has agreed to more than 350 subcontracts with the military and federal law enforcement agencies like ICE, and the FBI since 2016. And Google has more than 250 contracts, man. Subcontracts. Wow. That's a whole heap of contracts. I'd love to know what they're doing with this information that they're keeping on the general public, right? And on private citizens as well. Because we seem to think that we live in a world where we can do what we want and say what we want. Yeah? But the government has so much information on a lot of individual people, man. If you're into a bit of cross-dressing, if you got some kind of foot fetish and you're licking your wife's feet at night, or you might be into a bit of bondage, these are all private things. You might like to collect toenails in a glass or something like that, all right? The government knows almost every single thing about your life, what you eat, where you go, your electricity bills, your gas bills, yeah, your smart TV, your smart telephone, your smart watches are all devices that is giving information over to these agencies, right, and to law enforcement and to the government and to some of these big techs. tell you what, knowledge is more dangerous than a gun. Knowledge is much more dangerous than a gun. I go on. Microsoft stood out with more than 5,000 subcontracts with the Department of Defense and various federal law enforcement agencies since 2016. Thousands of contracts highlight quiet ties between big tech and the US military. I'm gonna have to read that bit again. Check this. Thousands of contracts highlight quiet ties between big tech and the US military. This was off the NBC News. So, there's a lot of contracts between the military and the state and between some of these big tech companies. And we think that we live in a free society. And I tell you what, we don't, because we're under constant surveillance all the time for all these different devices. Yeah? Through your television, through your telephone, through the internet. I read on. The FBI performed potentially millions of searches of American electronics data last year without a warrant. US intelligence officials said in April. They're even trying to really hide things so much now, aren't they? All right, they're bold enough to come out and just say what they're doing, man. But the only thing is that the people that they're watching don't really know what information these people are collecting on them. You don't really know what information they're collecting on them. And it's not only just the public citizens, they're watching other countries as well. Because of the reason of defense, they need to keep their eye on certain countries other than their private citizens. I read on. The internet grew out of ARPANET, a computer network bankrolled by the Pentagon Advanced Research Project Agency. That is what ARPANET means. Pentagon Advanced Research Project Agency. And this was found, the source is Russia Today. Every single thing that you're doing, everything that you're saying, even me right now, they're watching me, right? Putting this information out to you. So they got me under surveillance, as well as a whole heap of other people. They got your bank details. They got your pictures of when you were on holiday. They got cameras everywhere, like CCTV cameras everywhere that's watching the general public, right? It's madness. In the words of journalist Yasha Levine, the web was developed as a weapon and remains a weapon, with the Washington national security interests and objectives dominating almost every sinew of the network. Every sinew of the network, man. Some people say, I have nothing to hide from the government. So, yes, I agree with everything that they do. You're giving away a lot of your privacy, yeah, to the state and to these big techs. And you don't know what information they're sharing with whom? On you? I tell you, knowledge, information is more dangerous than a gun. It is more dangerous than a gun. You just imagine how many people they can use this information against, right? As it says here, and I'm going to read it again, Yasha Levine, the web was developed as a weapon and remains a weapon, with Washington's national security interests and objectives of dominating almost every sinew of the network. I go on a boy, I just find this so shocking, man. Google's own origin traced back to US intelligence program in the 1990s, under which academics were financed to create a system whereby vast quantities of data on private citizens could be monitored, collected, stored, and individual users identified and tracked. Individuals' information, right? And the individual tracked, man. What about you are innocent until proven guilty? It's like we're all criminals or something. This is how it's coming across, that we're all criminals, so they have to keep all this information on us. And they might not come after you necessarily right now, but you do something they don't like, sometime in the future, you know what they're going to do? Use this information that they got on you, right? Because they say they're using it as a weapon, right? Using it against you as a private citizen. As a private citizen, private means you're in your own dwellings, you're in your own home. When you go out into the public, you're a member of the public, and it's still got cameras and CCTV, right, and facial recognition imagery, right, watching every single thing that their citizens are doing. It's just madness. It's just madness. Google, you just imagine that. Google was working with Central Intelligence. It's traced back to US intelligence programs in the 1990s. So it was set up for this reason. It wasn't set up to try and help us in terms of things like entertainment, right? It's watching everything that you're doing, right, over the net. Every single thing that you're doing over the net, they're watching. And we think that it's just there for entertainment purposes. This guy, Russell Brand, he's a comedian in the UK, right? He's got his own social media site. This is what he has to say about all this on surveillance. That's the whole point of the internet, was always control. State power, big tech, collaborate in order to prevent us from having authentic, organic connections and individual freedom. I totally agree with him on that. I totally 100% agree with him on that. We are just being weaponized by these people, by these big techs, by the state, by law enforcement agencies. And it doesn't matter whether you're guilty of doing something or not, they've still got all this information on you. So you know what people's going to start doing soon? Is not to say anything. That is probably what the state, in a sense, wants. People will end up feeling so imprisoned even within their own home. People start to feel imprisoned in their own home, and even when they're out in the public, because everything that you say, everything you do, right, or you're spending, all of your transactions, your friends, your photographs, right, they even got the smart watch now. You can go to bed and the watch will be watching your body's temperature, your weight, your sleeping pattern, and everything. People's got Alexa in their homes. What is Alexa doing? What is Alexa connected to? And I leave you with this. If you are one of these people who like to cross-dress in your own home, you like a little bit of bondage and your hands tied up and your feet, right? With your wife spanking you on the bottom with a whip or something, realize this. Cameras might be watching you, watching what you're doing. Be careful out there. Eldad Amara. This is Eldad Amara. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I say, I'm going to put a link on the end of this video for you to go and watch part 1. Thank you, Eldad Amara. Over and out.